Most men think dating is a confidence problem. It isn't. It's a feedback problem. Because there is a number you can't see, but you can feel it. It decides how women respond to you, how quickly interest appears, how often you get second chances, how much effort you have to put in for the same outcome, and whether you walk through dating with calm or with constant friction. That number is your mate value, not your self-esteem, not your potential, your market value, as measured by how people actually respond to you. Mate value is real, it is measurable, and it is brutally honest. But here is the good news. It is also far more adjustable than most men think. In this video, I'm going to break down what mate value actually is, what raises it according to research, what people get wrong about it, and how to improve it without becoming fake, bitter, or performative. Because once you understand mate value, dating stops being a mystery and starts being a strategy. Let's define mate value properly. Mate value is the total package of traits that make someone more or less desirable in a given mating market. It is not just looks. It is not just money. It is not just game. It's a bundle, and the bundle changes depending on what the other person wants and what context you meet them in. This is why some men feel invisible in one environment and high status in another. The market is segmented. So mate value is not a single universal score, it's more like a profile of strengths and weaknesses. But even with variation, patterns repeat. And that's where data becomes useful, because people love to argue about dating based on feelings and anecdotes. Research forces you back to reality. So what does research consistently find? First, physical attractiveness matters. It matters in the first few seconds, because it is the first information the brain receives. And it matters more in short-term contexts, where people weight immediate cues more heavily. There are classic meta-analyses in psychology showing that physically attractive people receive more positive social evaluations and are often assumed to have better traits. This is the halo effect. You don't need to worship it. You need to respect that it exists. And here is the important part. Attractiveness is not only genetics. A huge portion is presentation, conditioning, grooming, style, posture, expression, body language, health, sleep, stress. Even something as simple as being leaner and more athletic shifts how your face reads, how your clothes fit, and how you move. So when men say it's all genetics, they are often using biology as an excuse to avoid controllable work. Now, another consistent pattern: cues linked to health matter. Evolutionary psychology predicts this because health was always relevant to survival and reproduction. Studies have examined cues like facial symmetry, clear skin, certain body ratios, and other indicators that may correlate with health or developmental stability. The details can get technical, but the outcome is simple. Signals of health tend to increase perceived attractiveness. So a man who trains, sleeps, eats properly, and reduces stress is not just improving for himself, he is improving the signals his body broadcasts. Next, status and competence matter. Cross-cultural research, including the work associated with David Buss, shows that in many societies women place relatively more emphasis on cues that imply resource access, ambition, and stability, particularly for long-term relationships. Again, don't moralize it. It's a strategy. Competence is attractive because competence predicts survival and stability. Now, men misunderstand status. They think it means being rich. Sometimes it does. But more often it means being respected, being effective, being a leader in something, being socially valued. A man can have moderate income and high perceived status if he is competent, confident, socially connected, and purpose-driven. Status is often local, your standing in your world. Now, here is something modern culture struggles to accept. Personality matters, but it matters differently depending on the stage. At first contact, looks and presence dominate because the brain is working with limited information. As interactions continue, traits like warmth, humor, emotional stability, reliability, and social intelligence start to weigh more. There is research showing that kindness, dependability, and emotional stability are highly valued in long-term partner preferences. Not because people are saints, because long-term relationships are costly and people want partners who reduce risk. So if you want long-term success, your mate value is not just your attraction, it's your relationship viability. Can this person build with you? Are you safe? Are you stable? Do you lead? Do you listen? Do you have boundaries? Do you have direction? Now, here's the ruthless part. Mate value is revealed by behavior, not by what people say they want, not by what you think you deserve. It's revealed by choices, who responds to you, who invests in you, who stays, who ghosts, who follows up, who introduces you to friends, who makes time. This is why the market feels brutal, because it forces honesty. Now, is mate value measurable? Yes, in multiple ways. Researchers measure mate value through ratings, through speed dating outcomes, through observed mate choices, through online behavior like message response rates and match patterns. Even if you don't love the modern dating world, it provides massive data. And data reveals something important. Small improvements can create large differences. That's the point most men miss. They assume you need to become a different person. Often you just need to improve the highest leverage cues, the cues people use to judge you quickly. Now let's break down the mate value bundle into categories you can actually work with. Category 1, appearance and physical condition. This includes your face, your physique, your grooming, and your style. You do not need to be a model, but you do need to look like you respect yourself, because people read your self-respect as a signal of value. The research reality is simple. If you become leaner, stronger, and better groomed, your attractiveness tends to improve, and your confidence tends to improve because your self-image aligns with the result. Category 2, social value. This is how you are positioned in the social world. Are you socially connected? Do people enjoy being around you? Do you have friends? Do you have a social life? Do others defer to you in some domain? Social value is powerful because humans are social learners. We look to others to decide who is valuable. This is why social proof works, which we'll go deeper into later in the series. But even here, the principle matters. Isolation reads as risk. Integration reads as safety and status. Category 3, competence and trajectory. Competence is attractive because it predicts future outcomes. You don't need to be at the peak. You need to be moving upward. You need to have direction. Ambition without action is just noise, but consistent progression is a signal. A man who is disciplined, skilled, and building something tends to be read as higher value, not because women are calculating, but because brains evolved to detect competence. Category 4, emotional stability and frame. This is one of the most underrated traits in modern men, because modern life makes people anxious, reactive, and unstable. So calmness becomes rare, and rarity has value. Emotional stability signals self-control and reliability. It signals that you won't collapse under pressure. It signals that you can lead. If you are easily rattled, easily offended, and constantly seeking validation, your mate value drops. Not because you are evil, because you look unsafe. Category 5, standards and boundaries. This is where many men sabotage themselves. They think being agreeable will make them lovable. But in mating markets, desperation is not read as kindness. It is read as low value. Boundaries communicate that you have options, self-respect, and standards. This does not mean being arrogant. It means being selective yourself. It means you do not chase indiscriminately. This changes the dynamic immediately. Now, a key concept that makes mate value clearer is assortative mating. People tend to pair with others who are similar in overall desirability across a mix of traits. This is sometimes linked to the matching hypothesis, the idea that people calibrate their choices based on their own perceived value and expected acceptance. You see this in real life. Highly attractive people often pair with other attractive people. Highly ambitious people often pair with ambitious people. Highly social people often pair with highly social people. It's not perfect, but the pattern appears because markets self-sort. So if you want better partners, you usually have to become a better match. Not morally better, market better. Now here is where men often get angry. They confuse explanation with endorsement. Explaining mate value is not saying everyone deserves love or doesn't. It's not saying life is fair. It's saying the market exists, and you can either deny it or learn how to navigate it. Now let's talk about what increases mating success according to data in a practical way. First, improve your physical signals. You don't need to chase perfection. Chase obvious upgrades, get leaner, build muscle, fix your posture, improve your grooming, wear clothes that fit. These changes are visible quickly, and because they are visible quickly, they tend to produce disproportionate gains. Second, improve your exposure. Results equal probability per attempt multiplied by number of attempts. Mate value improves probability per attempt. But if your attempts are near zero, your results are near zero no matter how high your value is. So the highest ROI move for many men is not another month of thinking. It's increasing contact with women in real-life contexts. Not obsessively, strategically. Third, improve your social competence. Not lines, competence. Your ability to start a conversation, read cues, be relaxed, be direct without pressure, be playful without forcing it, end cleanly when it's not there. This is one of the most malleable traits, and it has compounding effects. Because social competence makes exposure easier, which makes you calmer, which improves your signals, which improves your results. Fourth, improve your status signals, but do it honestly. Status is not a Rolex. Status is who you are, what you do, what you build, who respects you. So build competence in your work. Become effective. Become known for something. Be reliable. Lead in a domain. This is slower, but it is deep, and deep value carries into long-term attraction. Fifth, fix your emotional volatility. This is the invisible killer. If you are anxious and reactive, you transmit neediness. If you are calm and centered, you transmit stability. The same sentence from two men feels different depending on emotional energy. People don't respond to words, they respond to state. Now let's deal with a dangerous misunderstanding. Mate value is not a reason to treat people like commodities. It is a model for self-improvement and for realism. If you use it to become bitter, you lose. Because bitterness leaks, it makes you tense, it makes you resentful, and resentment reads as low value. So the correct frame is this: mate value is information, not identity. It is not who you are, it is what the market currently reflects back to you. And markets can change. Now you might be thinking, if mate value is real, should I obsess over it? No, obsessing makes you perform, performing makes you tense. Tension makes you less attractive. What you want is detached improvement. Train, upgrade, improve your life, increase exposure, collect feedback, adjust, stay centered. Now, let's add one more layer that makes this even more practical. Mate value is context-specific. Your value in a nightclub is not the same as your value at a professional event. Your value on an app is not the same as your value in a friend-of-friends context. Why? Because different environments amplify different signals. Apps amplify looks and presentation. Social circles amplify social proof and personality. Professional settings amplify competence and status. So one of the smartest moves a man can make is to choose environments that highlight his strengths, not hide in comfort zones. Choose arenas where you can win. Now, one more reality. Short-term and long-term mating are not the same market. In short-term contexts, immediate attractiveness cues tend to matter more. In long-term contexts, stability, warmth, reliability, competence, and character weigh more heavily. So the version of you that wins short-term attention is not always the same version that wins long-term commitment. A high mate value man is not just attractive, he is viable. He is the kind of man a woman can see a future with, if that is what she is looking for. That's the real level up. You don't just become more hot, you become more valuable across time. Now, if you want a clean mental model, think of mate value like a portfolio. Some assets are fast, fitness, grooming, style. Some assets are slow, career, competence, social network. Some assets are internal, emotional stability, confidence, boundaries. You build the portfolio, and you manage it. That's how you stop feeling confused, because confusion often comes from trying random moves with no model. Now let's end the main lesson with a blunt truth. If you want to increase your mating success, you need two things: higher value, more exposure. Most men choose one. They either improve and never approach, or they approach without improving and burn out. The winning strategy is balanced. Upgrade the signals, increase the attempts, stay calm, stay respectful, stay consistent. That is how you use data rather than fantasy. Here's the takeaway. Mate value is real. It is not your self-esteem. It is the market's response to your signals. It is measurable through behavior, who responds, who invests, who stays, and it is brutally honest. But it is also adjustable. If you want better results, focus on what the research-backed patterns repeatedly point toward. Improve your physical signals, health, grooming, and style. Build competence and status through real achievement. Increase your social value by being integrated and respected. Develop emotional stability, boundaries, and calm frame. Then increase exposure, because probability needs attempts. And remember the key mindset shift. Mate value is information, not identity. Use it to improve, not to resent. Because resentment leaks and value compounds. So become the kind of man the market rewards, not by faking anything, but by building a life and a presence that is genuinely hard to ignore.